Who doesn't know about the famous FIFA World Cup 2022 being held in Qatar? Along with being well known because of its massive fan base, this year's FIFA World Cup has also gained huge attention due to its countless controversies and issues. But Qatar has managed it very well, and for those of you who don't know, this year's Football World Cup is the most expensive of all. Never in the history of sports has someone ever spent that much money on hosting a tournament. Qatar has certainly done the unthinkable. So, what are its details? How much money has been spent? What are the controversies linked to it, and what does the future hold for Qatar after this World Cup? Well, let's find out in today's exciting video. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. The most costly World Cup in history and the most popular sports events ever to take place in the Middle East, the 2022 FIFA Football World Cup started on Sunday with Qatar hosting Ecuador. The World Cup is being held for the first time in an Arab and Muslim majority nation. The preparation for the event, which has been beset by controversies and criticism from day one, has cost Qatar considerably more than $200 billion. Previously, Russia paid close to $14 billion for the event. That was considered as the most expensive edition to date. And before that, Brazil held the 2014 World Cup. It spent almost $12 billion. It is vital to keep in mind that past event hosts had a strong footballing culture and facilities, which Qatar lacked. As one of the most watched professional tournaments in the world, this required that the nation had to go above and beyond to meet the demands of the competition. Over $250 billion has been spent on the football tournament's infrastructure since Qatar won the bid to host the World Cup in 2010. The amount surpasses the reported $42 billion China invested in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, as well as the $55 billion Russia committed to the 2014 Winter Olympics. 8 soccer stadiums received $10 billion in funding. The remainder was used to completely overhaul the nation, including the development of a new metropolis with enough housing for almost 250,000 people, almost 100 new hotels, an upgraded port and airport, a rebuilt road system, and several metro lines. According to sources, the one-month competition is on track to surpass the approximately $5.4 billion in earnings that the 2018 World Cup in Russia brought in for the organization that governs football, FIFA. As per the reports, FIFA has already sold roughly 3 million tickets, 240,000 hospitality packages, as well as broadcasting rights to the tournament. Prominent companies like Coca-Cola and Adidas AG have sponsored the World Cup. It is not surprising that the nation, which has less than 3 million residents, has spent a significant amount of money in the past 10 years to organize the sport's premier competition. Approximately 1.2 million fans are predicted in the nation for the event. However, while many may opt to remain in neighboring nations, providing enough accommodations in Qatar has proven to be very difficult for the organizers. By the middle of October, about 3 million tickets, or all of the seats, had already been sold. Saudi Arabians and United Arab Emirates citizens were among the top purchasers, in addition to the citizens of Qatar, FIFA reported. Supporters from the United States, Britain, Mexico, France, Brazil, Germany, and Argentina are also among those sellers who bought the most tickets and came to watch matches in the billion-dollar football stadiums in Qatar. Unfortunately, supporters from China were barred by COVID regulations. Here's an interesting fact for you. The neighbors of Qatar stand to gain in this situation as well. 40 out of the more than 90 additional regular flights into Qatar will come from the United Arab Emirates. And Dubai, a 45-minute flight away from Doha, will serve as the tournament's primary entry port. Oman and Saudi Arabia are hoping that tourists from FIFA World Cup will visit their countries as well. Thousands of individuals came from nations including Bangladesh, India, Nepal to serve on the World Cup infrastructure, which required a sizable migrant labor force. According to reports, many of those individuals were forced into paying fees of about $4,000 for the purpose of obtaining contracts in Qatar, where they were promised well-paying employment and favorable working circumstances. Workers reported inadequate wages of below $1 per hour, spanning 12-hour shifts while working on the decade-long World Cup infrastructure project in Qatar. particularly in the hot summers where temperatures would exceed 43 degrees Celsius. However, later on, a minimum wage of 1,000 riyals, or $275 per month, was implemented in Qatar in response to international criticism that the nation had received. Okay, so the World Cup has come to an end, eventually. What will the government do with these stadiums? Even if there isn't a concrete strategy for what should be done with those gleaming football venues, Qatari officials believe that the infrastructure built as part of the nation's World Cup efforts would help to enhance the non-energy economy of Qatar. Even though LNG may be in high demand right now, Europe ultimately wants to stop using fossil fuels. The media's portrayal of Qatar as modern and contemporary may aid in attracting tourists and enterprises. The construction of ports and highways may help increase industry. The majority of analysts anticipate a slowdown in non-energy economic activity following the event as World Cup attendees vacate hotels and apartments. In 2023, it's anticipated that thousands of additional hotel rooms, some of which were intended for the World Cup but weren't finished in time, will be available. There are many more residential properties on top of that. The government has stated that it anticipates low-wage workers leaving the nation as building projects decline, although it is unclear how many other workers, particularly the white-collar ones, who have been engaged in the sports tournaments arrangements, will follow the same and leave Qatar. In the year ending October 31st, Qatar's population increased by about 14%, reaching an unprecedented 3 million. Additionally, after the fans return home, the nation faces the possibility of being lonely. The government anticipates that the World Cup's conclusion will mark the beginning of a more enduring knowledge and service sector economy. With that being said, it is not yet very clear how a significant sports tournament will be followed by the next stage of economic development. Because of this, if the investments are expected to pay off in the long run, the post-tournament transformation is just as crucial as the preparation. There is no denying the fact that this year's FIFA World Cup is going to be a game changer for Qatar as a nation. Despite so many controversies the nation has faced in recent times, it is expected that it will still thrive and make a massive amount of revenue. The tourism sector of the country is also expected to get a boost from it and this mega project. In addition to this, the FIFA World Cup 2022 will also give a sign to the world that other countries, and particularly those outside of South America and Europe, are also capable enough to host major tournaments such as this. So, are we going to see any other African or Asian country getting hosting rights in the future? Or will the American and European countries get the right to host such mega events again? Well, only time will tell. All right, everybody, that's the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed watching this and found it to be really interesting. If you did, then please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so you never miss another update. Also, let us know about your views regarding Qatar hosting the FIFA World Cup 2022. Are you in support of it or are you against it? Do let us know in the comments section below. We will be back with some more exciting videos like these very soon. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.